Welcome back, guys. Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today, I'm going to be discussing my thoughts on Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel Episode 2, The Moment of Truth. Now, if you're a Power Rangers fan like I am, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell icon. I'll be notified the next time I upload any kind of video having to do with Power Rangers. Now, let's get started. Alright, so this episode was a focus episode about Calvin mainly, but also a little bit about Haley, and it's their I think it's 2-year anniversary, they said in the episode, and Calvin has forgotten that it's their anniversary, and he begins to start lying, and it kind of goes all crazy from that point on. And I really like what they did with this episode, giving the relationship somewhat of value in this episode. I feel like Power Rangers in recent years hasn't done that, especially with relationships. They just kind of go to the wayside recently, so I really like how they did that in this episode. Give Calvin and Haley a lot more development. I mean, we know that they're together in passing, but they never really expanded on it too much, and I'm glad they had this episode. I feel like it's definitely one that is a strong episode, especially being a filler episode, the second episode in the season. It could have had potential to be just a horrible episode, but I think they handled it very well, and definitely one of the strongest episodes of the 2 seasons so far. Also, I really like how they made this episode very relatable to most people. I think everybody in their life at one point has had this situation where they've forgotten a birthday or anniversary or something like that. So I really like how they incorporated that and made it believable and taught a lesson to the kids, but also made the episode a little bit more entertaining for the older fans of the Power Rangers, and just made it feel more relatable for the older fans, even giving the kids a kind of generic lesson as usual about not lying. So I really like how they made the episode for both adults and kids in that aspect. I feel like they definitely handled that very well. Moving on next, we got the villain of the week, Deceptron. Now, I really like this villain. I think this is really smart. And so far, with how Madame Odious has been using her villains, just as this villain alone, I feel like it's way better than Galvamax was using them last season. Now, this villain was used to follow people around pretty much, and when they lie, it gives him power, and then he can shoot, I guess, these bolts at the Rangers that can block their power stars and make them not be able to morph. So I really like that. I think that's a very smart move, especially from the villain side. That way they can go down, take the Rangers out of commission. They can't fight back, and then Odious could easily come down and take over the Earth. So I really like how they use that. And with how Calvin was this episode, it fit very well. I feel like that was a very smart move, and I like how they utilized the whole lying thing and connection with this monster. And I really like how when he returned to the ship after just doing one Ranger, I think it was one, I don't remember if it was just the White Ranger after he returned, or if it was after he got the blue and gold ones too. But when he returned to the ship, Odious yelled at him and complained to him to get back down there. And if that was Galvamax, he probably would just complained and just kind of just said nothing. But with Odious, she just like yelled at him and like really treated him like he was nothing. I really like how they kind of had that relationship with her and the monsters. And I really like Odious as a villain herself. She is probably one of my favorite villains in a really long time. And especially since they haven't had a female villain since Lightspeed Rescue, which was probably about 18 years ago now. So I'm really liking this villain and how the villains are being utilized this season. I hope, like Odious said in the end of the first episode, she wanted to use she knew all the Rangers' weaknesses, and I think this is one of the first signs that she definitely does know the Rangers' weaknesses, and she's feeding off them and using these monsters to get at the Rangers' weaknesses, along with tomorrow's episode with Levi. I think that's going to be an interesting episode, also feeding off his weakness. So I really like how they're utilizing the villains this season and the monsters to show that they're not that dumb. They're actually smart people. They're using what the Rangers' weaknesses are to their advantages, and sending monsters down that they know can get at the Rangers' weaknesses. So I really like how they're utilizing that. And I really like this monster, like I said. I think it was such a smart move. And I'm very excited to see how other monsters will kind of play mind games with the Rangers moving forward in this season. So the Rangers, like I said, battled Deceptron, and three of the Rangers' Power Stars end up getting lodged with his bolts. So Mick is trying to get them out so they can morph again. And then we kind of learn the lesson of the week of not lying, and Calvin comes clean. And now here comes one of the two cons I have with the episode is that realistically, I know it's a half-hour kid show, so, realistically things aren't going to always happen the way they should in real life. But realistically, Calvin and Haley shouldn't have made up as quick as they should. And that's probably my one con for this episode. I feel like they should have made up quicker. They shouldn't have made up as quick as they did. They should have had a little bit more time. Maybe towards the end of the episode, they finally make up. I just kind of feel like that was kind of quick, in my opinion. I know some people might say, oh, it's a kid's show and we didn't need that, but I just feel like it could have benefited more if we had some more time. If they kind of just had the two of them be mad for a little bit, and then at the end of the episode, they make up, like that. I feel like that would have been a lot better if they had handled the story that way. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like I said, Calvin comes clean, and by him telling the truth, it frees the Rangers' Power Stars, and they're able to morph again just in time as Deceptron has returned to finish off the last of the Rangers. Now, the rest of the episode is pretty much how it usually goes down. The Rangers battle and defeat Deceptron, and then Cosmo Royale gigantifies him. Now this another part where I had an issue is then the Rangers get back all their Zords. I feel like that was too easy. Like with how they got back their regular powers, I feel like they should have earned them. I feel like they didn't really earn anything here. They just kind of were given their Zords back. And then they go into their Zords, and then again, like I said, Calvin gets the new, well, not just Calvin, the whole Rangers get the new Super Ninja Steel mode, I guess it's called. I don't know the exact name for it. And again, I just feel like they didn't earn it. I feel like they should have earned this mode, but it was just given to them. It just felt like you lose their reward, like we used to get whenever we got a new mode or Zord. There was no reward there. They were just given it. So that's probably my next con I had with the episode. I wish they kind of treated it as they earned this new power up and their Zords back, but it was alright, I guess. What can you expect from a half-hour show, like I said? But still, nothing too bad. I still like the episode, and I like the big kind of gun thing that Calvin has to destroy the Deceptron. So the Rangers battle and defeat Deceptron, and that's pretty much how the battle goes. And then we kind of meet back up with them back to school at the end of the episode. And Calvin has gotten Haley a gift for their anniversary, which is a calendar, and he has circled the date of their anniversary. Now, this is one part that I kind of feel like it's nitpicking. I'm not holding it against the episode, but who really uses calendars this day and age? I feel like most people just use their phones. So it's just maybe an oversight. Maybe it's just me nitpicking, but I just feel like that could have just been handled a little bit better. Small oversight. Nothing I'm holding against the episode. It's still a great episode. It's just probably me nitpicking. That's all. Last, let's talk about Victor and Monty. Now, if you watched my previous review, you know I'm not huge fans of these characters. I feel like they're kind of cheap rip-offs of Bulk and Skull. However, I feel like they were utilized very well in this episode and actually contributed to the actual plot of the story somewhat. My only con would be that I feel like they could have trimmed down a bit of their screen time and given us more time with Haley and Calvin and made it feel more realistic and have them be mad at each other. All in all, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought this was another strong episode so far, even though it's only 2 episodes in, I gotta say this is already looking up to be a great anniversary season, so I'm really looking forward to it. I know we got screwed kind of with the 20-year anniversary, but I'm really looking forward to this 25-year anniversary. They haven't overhyped it like they did with the 20th anniversary, so my expectations are kind of low, which kind of also helps because I don't have high expectations and I keep in my expectations realistic, and so far they haven't let my expectations down. So I'm going to give this episode a 4.5 out of 5, and stay tuned for my next review of Power Rangers episode 3, which should be up sometime next week. Again, if you're a Power Rangers fan, hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell icon. That way you'll be notified the next time I upload any kind of Power Rangers content you might be interested in. This has been Vision with Blind Entertainment, and I will see you next time.